Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Tejas Financial Group. Tejas Financial is a company that specializes in helping retirees and pre-retirees build purposeful retirement plans. Custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but their time and talent as well. They believe that if you're taken care of financially, you go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at tejasfinancial.com or simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. All right, welcome back to the show. Jarrett Sebesta joining you on yet another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in right here on KWLM. On last week's show, we talked about the emotions of the election and how emotions are just kind of working against you in many scenarios when it comes to life, relationships, and perhaps planning for your retirement. Matt Hoekstra joins me on the show once again here today. And, I think that that's a really interesting concept because you mentioned on last week's show when we are reacting, we're never or rarely ever making the best decision for our lives.
Yeah. And when we're reacting in a time of strong emotion and stress, that is even worse.
Sure. What do you want to talk about today?
So we've been diving into estate planning quite a bit, and I'm finding out more and more just how difficult that is for people.
Yeah, Ben Tejas was on the show a couple of weeks ago. We had a couple of shows just talking about kind of the ins and outs of what that's all about. We're big proponents of wealth transfer, and but to your point, there's a lot of not only logistical things, probably some relational things. How do people struggle with those, in your opinion?
Yeah, just getting started is the biggest hurdle for most people. And what I've seen is people get overwhelmed. Clients get overwhelmed with the thought of, I've got all these moving parts. I've got different dynamics with my kids or my beneficiaries. Each one is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. I need to be fair. I need to be equal. And I don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. And there's laws, there's tax laws, there's, dynamics, there's all that stuff that comes into play. And what I've seen is people tend to just adopt the attitude of, oh man, they can just deal with it when I'm gone.
Yeah, which is probably the worst way to deal with just about anything. Is it like procrastination? They're overwhelmed with where to start or don't know where to start, in your opinion?
Yeah, probably paralysis by analysis kind of thing, or just being overwhelmed. I've had discussions where clients will say, 5 years ago, I thought my estate plan was going to look like this because of the different dynamics that I have with my kids. And then they mature or they go the other way. And it's like, well, now that plan that I thought I was going to have is different, or the other one is, my mom tried to plan and it turned into a big mess because of there were, certain planning things that went wrong, so there's those aspects that it's easy to get overwhelmed and it's easy to just kind of bury your head in the sand.
So let's kind of bust those myths that it's very difficult or it's too difficult, it's too complicated. Where should people start?
It is complicated. There's no doubt about that. But I think that's where somebody like myself can come in and help. My background, my training, my DNA, I'm wired to listen and I'm wired to problem solve. And so what a lot of times I will do with my clients is sit down with them and help them come up with different scenarios that they would see play out. I'm asking them questions. I know enough about their situation and about, the rules and the regulations to know generally what can happen. Mm-hmm. And then what we do is we come up with a plan A, plan B, and we take that to an attorney and we say, okay, help us get to this point. Yeah. But what the valuable piece is, again, sitting down, we'll sit down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, and come up with different scenarios on what they would like to see happen.
Should people start with us or start with an attorney, or what if they already have an attorney? How would you recommend that?
Ideally, attorneys are great for executing. right? And they know a ton. I mean, we've worked with a lot of really, really good attorneys, but there's a lot of value in knowing kind of what you'd like to see happen before you get into those meetings, so that you're not necessarily paying an attorney to brainstorm with you. Let's brainstorm outside of that and, ask the right questions, and then take that and have the attorneys do what they're best at, which is, execute the plan.
We've been described as the quarterback of the situation, where you can kind of, give somebody like you the ball, or another advisor with Tejas Financial Group, the ball, and then they can run with it. Is that a fair assessment and analogy?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we see though is we have had years worth of meetings and relationship building, so we know a lot of what makes our clients tick. We know a lot about their assets, about their income situations, about their relationships with their kids. That's how I know how to ask the right questions. And so, I think really starting there is a phenomenal place to start.
All right, that sounds good, Matt. Well, if you want to get this conversation started and begin your estate planning process, now is the time to give Matt Hoekstra or any other of the advisors at Tejas Financial a call. Their number is 222-4236. You can request a meeting at tejasfinancial.com, and you're more than welcome to stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. And just a quick reminder before I let you go, the 3rd annual Lakes Area Paddle Battle Pickleball Tournament is coming up on Saturday, December 14th. All proceeds from this pickleball tournament go directly to Youth for Christ of West Central Minnesota. It is sponsored by Tejas Financial Group and Wilmer Parks and Rec. If you want more information or to register for this pickleball tournament, visit the Facebook page of Tejas Financial Group. You'll see links at the top of the screen. I'm Jared Sebesta, joining you in this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.